everyone, it's Angela from Prettify Your Life, and today I'm going to talk about homecoming. Now this tutorial is for a finger mum, or sometimes I've seen them called finger ringers. The first time I heard about this was last year when Leslie came over to my craft room and showed us all how to make a Christmas swag, and she told me she made finger mums, which I'd never heard of. So homecoming came around this year and I thought, I'm going to try one of those. So I don't have a clue if this is my own recipe. I don't know how other people make theirs, but I'm going to show you how I made this, and I think it's really cute and fun. So let's get started. Now, some of the things you're going to need are these little discs that if you make homecoming mums you're familiar with, and there's a little bitty flower. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and some ribbon, and here is what I used. I went in the jewelry section and got this jewelry section of Hobby Lobby, just one of those cheap little adjustable rings with a flat disc on the top. So that's in the jewelry section of Hobby Lobby. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. Now, the first thing we need to do is prepare our little star. Now this star is a wooden star I got, I think, at Michael's. Painted the back white, painted the back and the sides white, and then I did an application. This is the school logo, or the school mascot, the warrior. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Let's first start with painting the back and sides of the star. Okay, here's the little wooden star. You can get wooden shapes in all the craft stores, although I think Michael's has a better selection of shapes. I wish Hobby Lobby would expand that department so I wouldn't have to go to Michael's. Sorry, but I love Hobby Lobby. And on this one, I used paint. I didn't have any of the craft white paint, so I used the artist paint, which actually, it covers well, but it takes a lot longer to dry. So I just thought of using one of my wood paint pens, Woodcraft markers, and so I've already kind of started, and so I'm just going to paint it out with this, and this stuff dries pretty quick and it's not messy. I don't have to get a brush out. I wish I had thought of this the first time. Basically, I'm just trying to make it look like it's not unfinished. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's really going to look much at the back of these anyway, so be sure to get the sides. Okay, that's painted on the back and the sides. We're going to set that aside and let it dry, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Okay, now we're going to make the bow that goes on it. Actually, it goes underneath it all, so that's where we need to start. So I have some 30-foot roll of just this basic blue ribbon. Got it at Hobby Lobby, I think in the bridal section. So we're going to put that on this spool right here. This is the Pro Bow the Hand. I love this bow maker. Regina Sellers is the inventor of it, and I just love the bow maker. It's my favorite one, and I've tried a few. So this is what this is. You can order it online through her website, or I think Trendy Tree. So first you put the spool on this one, and we're going to take a little piece of wire and wire the end. Just twist it. She has tutorials on her website. So we got that. Just going to take it around the middle and loop it around there. And then there's a little nail right here that you loop it around to secure it. And then we just start weaving it through. You twist at the bottom, bring it back over to the first one, come down, twist it again, and so on. Always twisting at the base. I love this bow maker. I don't use anything else anymore. I did use the Easy Bow Maker. A lot of you have commented on my tutorial. It's a good one. I just find this one easier because you don't have to hold down all the ribbon like you do in the Easy Bow Maker. Double loop it here to give me some streamers. A little bit longer. And then you untwist it on the bottom nail and untwist it from this top part. And then you will twist it together here to secure it. And you just kind of shimmy it off. And voila. And then you'll shape it. So let me shape it and we'll get back to the mum. Okay, I just wanted to show you after I took the bow off. Here's where I looped it, and here was where the ribbon was attached to the spool. So all I'm going to do is, I wanted 3 on this one because I put the homecoming stickers on the middle, so I just snip it off so now it has 3 nice streamers. So now the next step is to get your little ring here, take it out of the, and this is the flat, and it's just one of those cheap adjustable ones where you can pull it out and make it bigger so it fits any finger size. So the next thing to do is to hot glue our ribbon to it. And we want to make sure it's nice and tight and to snip off the excess wire. Okay. So all I'm going to do is kind of hot glue, shape the bow like you like it, and then I'm going to hot glue it right onto there, kind of at the top of the ring disc. Put a generous amount of hot glue on there and stick it on there and hold it until it's good and secure. Okay, here we have the mini mum. I've taken it out of the wrapper, and I kind of like to press it down so it's a little flatter. But as you can see, it has a long, thing on it. I just snip it off. Okay. And now we're gonna take our ring, and basically I'm gonna just kind of glue it in the middle of my bow. Okay. So I'm gonna put some glue on the flower and glue in the middle of the ribbon. Just smack it in there. That's really all there is to it. Oh, shouldn't try not to burn yourself. I've burned myself so many times this week. It's not even funny. And so now we're ready to do all the embellishing. Okay? Okay, now we're back to the star. The white is dry on the back and the sides, and now we're going to apply our design to the front. Now, this is just copier paper, thin paper, and I took the school logo, reduced it, and copied it, and just made kind of a background. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it's just going to be kind of used as background paper. This is good for scrapbookers also. And then what I did was I took my paper paper Mod Podge and put a light coat on it using a foam brush. And now we're ready to apply this to our wood die cut. I use this technique a lot. I love it. I mean, it kind of customizes things. When you don't have a certain scrapbook paper or you don't have a certain ribbon, you can kind of create your own. So what we're going to do is flip it over on the back. And here's what I've started doing. I go back and forth with projects, have to wait for things to dry, and I get tired of cleaning out brushes. So I've started putting paint and Mod Podge brushes in plastic bags and seal them up for going back to a project later. And they keep just fine, they don't dry out. So that's kind of my little tip. Maybe you already do that, I don't know, but it's kind of been my thing lately. So now we're just going to take some of the paper Mod Podge, get it on the brush, and working with paper is a bit tricky because it can bubble. So definitely the paper Mod Podge is better. And then make sure you know which way your design is going. And then just stick it down there. And press it hard. Oh, I kept hearing a noise. It's my pug at the door. She's wanting in. It kind of scared me there for a second. Okay, so now we're gonna press that down really good. Sometimes I put the can or the bottle of Mod Podge on there. And we're gonna let that dry. And then I'll show you what we do. And then I'm gonna put this back in the plastic bag. Okay, back to the ring. Now I should tell you that sometimes these streamers stick out on the side, and what I do is I flip it over and I pull the ribbon to where I want it, and then I just kind of hot glue it down in the front so that it hangs where I want it. Okay, so I'm going to finish that up. Okay, the next thing I did was I decorated the streamers. So I found this trim at Michael's, and I'm just going to apply this to the outside streamers. Okay, now we have all the stickers on and the embellishments. And now it's time to go back to the star. Okay, now that it is dry, I get a self-healing cutting mat. Sorry, I can't talk. And an X-Acto knife. And I'm gonna cut away. Make sure, because I've done this mistake several times, that your X-Acto blade is very sharp. Otherwise you're gonna rip your paper, especially if you're using just plain paper. You could probably use the heavy cardstock. And there you have it. A cute little custom star with your school's logo on it that you cannot buy in the store. So now the last thing I do is I go back, wrong Mod Podge, with my paper Mod Podge and my brush, and I'm just gonna do another light coat on top, but especially on the edges to help make sure it seals. You don't want any lifting, so just get those edges really good. And then I like to try to go in the same direction all the way across the object. It just looks neater because you can see brush marks sometimes, so it just looks better if you go in the same direction. And then we're gonna let that dry. Okay, while we're waiting for the star to dry, we're gonna add the little helmet and the bells so that it can be a finger ringer. Okay, so first thing is I'm gonna add the little helmet. Now it comes so you can hang them on mums with this little eyelet thing. So I'm just gonna take my snips and I'm gonna get down there snip it off as it shoots across the room. And now I'm just going to hot glue it to the base. Nothing difficult, just hot glue, hot glue. Okay. What would we do without hot glue, people? I mean, seriously. Things would take a lot longer. And just kind of push it in there. Okay. Now we're gonna add the little bells. All of these things I got are at either Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and so they're ready to go. Okay, for my other mum that I'm showing you, I don't have another megaphone, so I think I'm going to use this little Go Team, but I'm going to jazz it up because it's boring. Let me find my snips. We're going to snip off the little eyelet here. That one came off easy. And now I'm going to take some stickles. This is Stardust. There we go, Stardust. And on the white, I am going to jazz it up. It's shimmery. So I'm going to do that for the white parts, the big white parts. Okay, we're in the home stretch. Now we're going to apply the star. I think I kind of get a feel for how you want things. I'm thinking kind of like that. And then all we're gonna do is just stick it in there with some glue. Okay, there you have it. I glued in the little horseshoe and a little glitter football. This one is a little bit bigger than the other, but it's still, I think, cool. So not everybody's gonna have these unless they start making them. So anyway, that's how you make the finger ringer, or at least that's how I make it. I don't know how other people make it. I'm not a homecoming expert. Luckily I have several years before it has to get really serious, but I can practice and see what works for me, and that's what works for me. On this one here, I put some little curly cues. There's enough on this one. I don't need to add anything else. So it's really just your personal taste. So I hope that inspires you to get in there and get some homecoming crafts done. Thanks a lot.